Morning. Morning, Santi. I will be home in 10 minutes. I'm on my way. I will turn my camera on.
Thank you, Juan. Thank you, Juan. We're about to start, guys. Just waiting for the rest of the people to join. Thank you, Juan, for letting me know. All right, so this class is being recorded. And yes, welcome, everyone. Please start getting your cameras connected. There we go. There we go. All right, so this is our second class for the unit that we're doing about writing complex documents, which is what we did last Friday. And now we have, I believe, enough information for us to understand how to write complex documents. In a nutshell, we need to do this class. So we have administration, we have proper management of a business when it comes to procedures, work policies, and something that I discussed last class, which is called work instructions. Work instructions is what people will follow when they are encountered with a task. As I discussed last class, a lot of new businesses don't have this. They don't have work instructions. A lot of new businesses don't have policies and procedures. They don't have documented all these policies and procedures. They don't have documented work instructions. So if that is the case, your responsibility is to discuss this with management and to start working on developing and getting approved these work instructions, policies, and procedures. All right, that said, also, as we discussed last class, we need to be good at this because when we do campaigns, when we do marketing, when we do communications, that is considered as well complex documents. Why? Because if you publish something that has the wrong information or the information is not accurate, you may have trouble, you may have problems, you may be accountable for that information. So that is in a nutshell, the class, all right? Any question, any doubt about the content so far for this particular unit? Anything you want to add? Anything that you have found, that you have researched? Anything from your work experience that you want to add in terms of why it is important to write complex documents? No? All good? No questions whatsoever? Anything from the lesson? Any questions from the lesson from last class? All right. If that is nothing, if that's the case, please go to Accelerate and start working on the online quiz, please. So everybody, please go to Accelerate, open the online quiz for this unit. Remember, this is our second class, so it's not theory, it's practice. We need to work. All right, please let me know once you have the online quiz in your software, in your computer. All right, please let me know once you have the document, the online quiz in your computer, please. Maria, you have it? All right, beautiful. Lorena, you have it?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, so let's start working on that online quiz. Let's see how we go. If you have any question, let me know. But let's try at your end first. Okay, what is the right answer for the question number 1, please? And why? If you can tell me why.
It's a business document.
What is the most important business document, isn't it? That is the question about that, I reckon. What is the most important business document from the list below? And we have the business plan.
Business plan, sorry.
That exactly. That is more important than the marketing plan. That is more important than the contingency plan. So for the first question, we have to select one option, and the option is the business plan. The business plan is the axle. Everything else just goes around this axle. So that is the core. Why? Because in the business plan we have the mission of the company, the vision of the company, the strategy of the company, and everything else, all other documents, all other objectives, all other sub-plans are supporting that mission, that vision, and that strategy. Cool. All right. So Sabrina, you there? Let me know. I need to take in consideration of those that don't have the camera on. Please have your cameras on unless you have an excuse. But I need to know who is here because we are doing the online quiz. All right, if you're here in the class, please let me know. I need to have some form of attendance record, whatever is the camera or...
I'm here, Santi.
All right, thank you, please. That's what I need. Awesome. All right, cool. All right, cool. All right, question number 2, please. Question number 2. All right, question number 2, please.
Explain how hyperlinks and multimedia, rich media have changed the way we write business documents.
All right, and you tell me, Juan, how hyperlinks and rich media have changed the way we were writing business documents before. Tell me. First of all, is it clear what is a hyperlink?
Yeah.
Good. Is it clear what is rich media?
Mm-hmm.
A video is rich media. Audio is rich media.
Yeah.
A presentation that you can access in your computer is rich media. All right. And hyperlinks is a link, is a word or a sentence that you click on and it will take you to something else, to a more in detail explanation, description of that sentence keyword that you are clicking on. How that technology, because that's new, well, in terms of the context, the business context is new, all right? Because before, we didn't have, you know, like in the 1990s, in the 2000s, we didn't have that. This is something that we have as a result of Web 2. Web 2. Now we are getting into something that is called Web 3.0, but Web 2, which is the evolution of web, gave us that, gave us social media, gave us internet access, gave us hyperlinks and rich media. How that has changed the way business people write business documents.
Because now we can get more interactive, and with the business documents, create more engagement with the one who's reading.
Exactly. It's all about engagement. Now, my question is, what is more engaging? A short document or a long document? What is more engaging for the reader?
A short one.
Short and
A
consistent.
short one. And that is what we discussed last class. Remember that we talked about synthesis last class? And we said, people is not reading any. I mean, people, of course, they always, I mean, people will keep reading. People will keep writing, but it's not in the same fashion. Now they write using acronyms. Now they write using emoticons. Now they write using hyperlinks. The information is there. It's just that you need to find it using your own journey. And that is the advantage of today new technologies. We can use hyperlinks. So the document is this short. And if you want to go deeper, you click on those hyperlinks and then boom, you go to that content separately, sometimes in a new tab. You know that, you know, when you are using Safari, when you are using Google, have you noticed that you can select new windows or new tabs? So when we do complex documents, we program the hyperlink to open the information in a new tab, not in a new window, not in the same window. What happens? You start developing a very personalized way to read, to consume information. Hopefully I'm not talking, hopefully this is clear, I don't know. Maria, this is something that is clear to you, that Juan Manuel,
Yes.
is clear to you, Lorena. The way we write business documents nowadays is using hyperlinks. A lot of times, even in the first page of the document, we have like a menu of the document, like an index. You remember from the books, the index, where you have the chapters and everything. But in the traditional book, what you need to do, you read the index, and then you see, all right, if you want to go to this chapter, it will be the page 49. And what you were doing before, you were going like opening the book, moving pages until you get the page 49, remember? That's what we are not doing anymore because of new technologies. You click on the index and the index will take you straight away in that smart PDF, straight away to that content. That's what I want you, I need you guys to do. Let me see if I find a complex document here that demonstrates that. Give me one sec. Okay, guys, let me know you see my screen. Can you see my screen? It says PMBOK. So
Yes.
this is a complex document, all right? And this document is using hyperlinks to facilitate how people consume information. So if we go to the index, look, this is a table of content, it's the same thing. You see, each one, this is the way we have to do it now. That's why you need to learn, not just by the previous class, but also by example. So this is what you need to do. If people need to go to the projects part of this menu, They don't need to scroll down and try to find that. That's not what we do anymore. We don't do this because this is horrible, you know? This is a great, look how many pages this document has. You know, 800 pages, crazy. But so how we avoid that? We avoid this by having hyperlinks. So in the hyperlink, if we want to go to the project charter, then we click on it, boom, straight away there, in a second, all right? Or you can search for it and you can say, I don't know, project baseline. And it will show you all the content that has the word project baseline there. Where is it? Let me see. Ah, there you go. You see? Project cost baseline, project. All right. So that's how we do complex documents. So please explain that in your answer. What is important? It is important that you mention that documents nowadays are shorter in terms of what people need to read. Why they are shorter? Because they are supported by technology that is called hyperlinks and rich media. Because the documents are shorter, they are more engaging. Because people can manage their own journey in terms of how they consume the content of that complex document.
Sorry, Santi. So we need to be objective in our words when what we need to talking about. We need to be most objective about the object.
Yes, the question number 2 is about explaining why hyperlinks and rich media have changed the way we business people, we marketing people, the way we developed complex documents. I use the word complex because that is the name of the subject. This is the name of the class, all right? But we business people, we marketing people develop documents, business documents. What I need you guys to remember is next time that you write a business document, doesn't matter if you do it in Word, doesn't matter if you do it in Pages or any other software. What really matters is that you use hyperlinks. That's what really matters. What really matters is that you use rich media. That's what really matters. Why? Because nowadays, you know, millennials and people that is coming behind, they use hyperlinks and rich media to learn. Whereas in the 1990s, 1980s, people used books to learn, words to learn. That's why I love the word multimedia, because multimedia is not just copy. Multimedia is copy plus graphics plus video plus audio. That's rich media. And we need to embrace rich media in our professions. We need to embrace it. Because if we don't embrace it, we just continue doing what people did 20, 30 years ago. What is the point of doing that if you are learning in 2023? That's why if you really want to get serious about this subject, talk to web designers. Likely that you have a friend that is a web designer. This is the sort of people that understand these kind of topics, hyperlinks and rich media, and they can encompass a long story in a very short format, a long story in a short format. How? By using hyperlinks. How? By using rich media. All right. So please go and answer the question number 2 with that information that you just received. All right, please paste your answers in the chat. Anyone who has completed that question, please paste that answer in the chat. I want you guys to share what you have done with the rest of the group. I will do the same. I promise that I will do the same. I'm going to paste as well my answer in the chat for that question number 2. But you started. You go first. Okay, so you go first. You go grab that answer. Beautiful. Thank you, Maria. Let me see. So hyperlinks and multimedia have enriched document writing by making possible to easily embed images, videos, links, and other interactive content, providing quick access. How important is that word quick? How important is that? Quick access to additional resources. Well done. References. How important is that? References and information. Well done. Orhan. We write business documents by making them more engaging, interactive, and effective by incorporating these elements into the documents. Right, Orhan, just for the sake of the answer, instead of writing these elements, just write by incorporating hyperlinks and rich media. Just, you know, because this may be audited. So perfect answer, just add, just explain a little bit deeper. All right, my answer will be this one, which is basically the same that you guys have wrote anyway. This is more the way I talk and I write, but it's the same situation. All right. So now you have 3, 4 answers there. Craft your answer. Do it yourself. All right, guys, please start working on the question number 3 of the online quiz. And that is a very simple one. So go to the next one, question 4, and keep working, keep working. All right, I'm going to divide the group a little bit. And if you can't, please work with your classmates. Hopefully those of you who have the camera off, I know that some of you are working and you told me those that are working is fine. But if you are just at home, make sure that you have your camera on because I want you guys to cooperate with your fellow classmates. So I'm going to divide the group. Join your groups. Obviously, anyone that is not joining the group is because obviously is not in the class. I'm going to get that person out. Lore, please join your group. Sabrina, Girarat, and Nathan Fafa, please join your group. Why not, Sabrina? What's going on? Why you cannot join it? All right, because you're working. You cannot listen into this because this is a different scenario. It's a group recording. But it's all right. Stay there, Sabrina, no worries. Okay, good. So let's see how we went. One second. All right. All right. So for question number 4. For question number 4, that's a difficult one. That is a really difficult question. But as I said, we need to know that a business plan is the most important complex document that we have in a business. So it's not about having this perfect. If you miss a couple of them, it's not too bad, but at least we need to have the structure somehow connected with a logical order. So for question number 4, please. What is the first item at the top of the business plan?
It's mission.
It is the mission. Okay. All right. What is the item number 2?
Vision.
Vision. All right. Beautiful. What is the item number 3?
SWOT analysis.
The SWOT analysis. What the SWOT word stands for, Maria, if you can tell me.
It's strengths, weakness, opportunity, threats.
Beautiful. Right. What is the next item in that order?
Specific objectives.
Specific objectives. All right. What is the next one?
Business strategy.
Business strategy. All right, cool. According to the classes, what have we learned? What are the 4 main business strategies that we may use? Who remembers? Or anyone, or any strategy of those that we have discussed in previous classes? What is the lowest risk business strategy? Anyone, a business strategy, please.
Segmentation.
All right. Segmentation. Yeah, okay, cool. Is probably not a strategy per se. Segmentation is something that we need to do in order to divide the market into segments that are more manageable. So regardless of the strategy, we have to do market segmentation. All right. But thank you for that. No one remembers?
Like penetration of the market, like I want to have more customer in the same market with the same product.
That's it. So that is the first strategy, market penetration, lowest risk, lowest return on investment. So in the business plan, at that point, we need to write it down. We need to say our business strategy will be market penetration. Or our strategy will be market development. Or our strategy will be product development. What is the most difficult strategy? The most complex? What is the most difficult strategy? The most complex, but also the one that gives you more return on investment. From previous classes, come on. Diversification. Diversification. Guys, you cannot forget this. This is the baseline of a business student. A business student needs to know about business strategy. You have to know. All right.
Sorry, Santi, I just get lost because when we try to answer a question, they come too many things at the same time. So I don't really know what's actually the question itself. Like, so we were following our order and now we start to talk another thing. So I'm just lost right now.
What question are you working on right now, Mercedes?
In the number 4.
So we're talking about the order that we need to follow.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So with our mission, vision, specify objectives,
Yeah.
business strategy,
Yeah. So that's
and what
you're not lost. That is what we are working on.
so we are in business strategy right now.
Correct.
Okay, we're talking about that now.
We are explaining that particular point since it is a very, very important point for business students, for marketing students. So Mercedes, do you remember what are those strategies that we discussed?
No.
That's why I need to stop. That's why, because I need to make sure that you guys know strategy. All right. So just pay attention, please. Try to get it. If you don't get it, we try again, okay? We're going to repeat this, guys, one more time. When you do a business plan, you need to define a strategy. Why? Because that is the strategy that will be used for the duration of that business plan. You don't change strategies. What you change is tactics. Tactics and strategies are totally different things. Tactics are operational. Strategies, they are top level. Okay? So we have 4 main business strategies, and we define business strategies using 2 variables. Who remembers those 2 variables, please? What are the variables that we use to define a strategy?
Market and the product.
Market and product. Fantastic. That's good. So if we have current or old product and current or old market, what is that strategy, Lorena?
It's penetration of market penetration.
Market, beautiful. If the variables are new product, old market, what is that strategy?
Product development.
If the variables are new market, old product or current product, what is the name of that strategy?
Market development.
And if the strategy is, if the combination of the variables is new market, new product, what is that strategy?
Diversification.
All right. What is the lowest risk strategy?
Market penetration.
What is the highest risk strategy?
Diversification.
Which strategy will give us the lowest return on investment, marginal return on investment?
Market penetration.
What strategy will give us medium return on investment, average return on investment?
Both the market development and product development.
And which strategy will give us the most or the highest possible return on investment?
Diversification.
Beautiful. This is what I need you guys to know. I don't know. Fantastic, Lorena. How you recall it, or probably you have experience in this field. I don't know. That's what I need you, not to that level, okay? But I need you guys to recall a little bit of this. And if you just remember this, the 2 variables, product and market, and if you mix them with the words old and new, done. That is what will give you an edge, a differentiation when you start working for a company. Because when you know about the strategy, you will be working with people that know about the strategy. But when you don't know a strategy, you will be working with people that work on operations, which are tactics. And I don't think that you want to do that. I don't think that you want to work on that level. Because that's why you are studying business and marketing, yeah? Because you want to be at the top of the organization level hierarchy, not now, but probably in the future, so you have a higher income, so you have more time with family and friends. So if you don't know this little bit strategy, forget it. Guys, do this. Ask people in the street, ask your friends, what is a strategy? What is a business strategy? And they will tell you things like, oh, my business strategy is to have social media, or they will tell you my business strategy is to post twice per week, or they will tell you my business strategy is to travel and visit dealerships, or they will tell you my businesses. Those are operational things, tactics. You know what I mean? Oh, my strategy is to have TikTok. Those are tactics, guys. Strategy is one of the most important words, if not the most important word in business. And people that understand this, people that really understand what is business strategy, is the sort of people that will be making the decision in that business plan. All right, what will be our strategy for 2024? If the economy is disrupted, if the economy is crazy, you may want to play safe. You may want to say, look, I will not do diversification. There is war, there is, chaos. I will do a little bit, a more conservative one. So you may do market development and just try to export your products to the nearest countries close to your headquarters. Or you may say, look, I will not do that because the currency exchange is crazy. I will just develop new products for my current market. And then you will do product development. Or you will say, you know what? I'm not going to do anything. Like the market is so dangerous right now. I will just be so conservative. I will do just market penetration. I will just keep selling to my people here in my market with the products that they know. And that's it. Don't ask me to do something new, not this year. That's the sort of business students that I want, that understand these concepts, because this is what will take you to the next level. All right. Mercedes, it is a little bit more clear what is a strategy now.
Yes.
Can you name those 4 strategies? Can you name one?
To what, sorry?
Can you name some strategies?
No.
That is what I just explained. What is happening?
Yeah, I don't know. Sorry, Santi. You know my situation. I haven't slept, so my brain now is not working. So that's why.
All right. All right. Anyway, the class is being recorded. Try to get back to it. I need you guys to know about the strategy. That's all I'm telling you. I need you guys to know about the strategy. All right. So let's move to the next item in that list. After the strategy, what we have? What do we have after the strategy?
It's PLC.
What?
Product life cycle.
The PLC, the product life cycle. The product life cycle, it is a cycle. The product life cycle has 4 stages. 4. What is the stage number 1 of the PLC? Who remembers? Introduction. Stage number 2, growth. Stage number 3, maturity, and then decline. Guys, this is how all companies experience life in a market. You have a new company that eventually grows, and then it gets stable in the market, and then it dies. So that is the PLC, the product life cycle. Introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. Guys, give me 1 second. I need to answer this phone call. Guys, thank you for that. Very important call. You had to answer. Sorry about the waiting. All right. So PLC, guys, please, PLC, product life cycle. It has 4 stages: introduction, growth, maturity, and decline. It's just like when people, it's just like the life cycle of a human. You get born, you are a teenager, young adult, then you are an adult person, and then you die. That's how it is. Same for businesses. And in the business plan, we need to say in which stage of a PLC the business is. So you tell me, guys, Coca-Cola, the Coca-Cola business, in which stage of the PLC is? You guys know Coca-Cola. What stage? You are doing the business plan for Coca-Cola, for God's sake. Pay attention to me. And you need to say in which stage of the PLC Coca-Cola is right now, 2023. What is the answer? Guys, please, I need interaction with you. You don't know Coca-Cola? Yeah? Go ahead.
Maturity.
That's it. Maturity. It's a very mature brand. Everybody knows Coca-Cola. Good. All right, I will give you another one. Tesla, the company Tesla, the electric cars business. What stage that business is? Growth. Yes. It's not introduction anymore, but it's growing, but it's not stable either. It's not like everybody knows Tesla. It's not like Toyota. Toyota is stable. Toyota is maturity. All right. So, and if you have, let's say, a business like, the business Canva?
Yeah.
The business
graphic design.
The business Canva is dying now because Microsoft, which is a very powerful business, Microsoft, they just launched a campaign that is full of products, advertising, communications, and marketing to kill Canva. Because
which one is it?
They are using artificial intelligence to replace Canva, and they want everybody to know that they have a better product. You will see as time goes by in the next 2-3 weeks. I don't know the brand, but I know the strategy that they are doing. All right. Okay. So likely Canva will be in decline. Likely. But like any business that is selling something that people is no longer using is in decline. Like people are not using printing machines. Not fax machines. People are not using, like CD drives. CD drives, they are not, because so the companies that are producing those products are in decline, or the categories are in decline. The brand, the product, you understand what I mean? Now, please tell me this. If you have a new business, you are an entrepreneur person. In which PLC you will be? In which stage of the PLC you will be? Introduction. Awesome. Good. Now, thank you for paying attention. Anyone knows what is the marketing mix, or remembers what are the 4 elements of the marketing mix? Or the 4 P's that we call the 4 P's? Come on, Lorena, the 4 P's. You know this.
Star, milking cow, dog.
All right. That is a different matrix that is called the BSG matrix. Now,
the product.
Product.
Promotion. Place and price.
Place and price. All right. Now, the order, there is an order for that. The order is promotion, product, place, price. All right. The first. What is that?
Promotion? Why promotion before product? Because what would you promote if you don't even have the product?
Your brand. You don't need to have the product. That's why this order is important. Juan Manuel, that is a good question. That's why this order is important. I'm going to repeat it one more time. First promotion, then product, then placement or place, and finally price. Good question. I'm going to explain to you, Juan Manuel, why this matters. If the company is in the PLC, in the introduction stage of the PLC, introduction, what is the most important P? Where the company should focus, in which one of those 4 Ps?
Okay, yeah,
What is that?
Yeah. No, I guess the promotion, as you said, but
All right.
No.
All right. If the company is new, it's a new company, what is the most important thing for that company? The brand or the product? You need to the brand, because you need to register the business, the product with a brand. So the brand is the first. At legal level is what you need first. At commercial level is what you need first. Is the first asset that a business have, and probably the most important asset in the future. You know that? Like the most important asset, more than machines, more than anything that is tangible, is the brand. Try to buy the Coca-Cola brand. That is the asset. It's more expensive than the factories. All right. So when you are in a new business, the most important P of the marketing mix is promotion. Let's say that your business is doing well. People is understanding that brand proposition, the brand proposition, the values, the vision of that business. And then, okay, cool. People start buying more and more from that new business. So the business starts growing. What is the most important P when the business is just growing? It's not promotion, because you already mentioned that one. So which one will be the most important one when a business is starting to take off? What people will be looking at? Not the brand anymore. People already know the brand. People will be looking at what?
Yeah, the price.
Product.
At the product. And that's when people say, all right, cool. This brand is really cool, but now I am using the product because I bought it for the first time. Let's see how good it is. Product. All right. Now, the business is Coca-Cola. You don't need to tell people what the product is. People know that the product is a carbonated drink, and they remember the sounds of it. They remember the taste of it.
Mm-hmm.
What is the most important P for a company like Coca-Cola? It's not product, it's not promotion, because you already mentioned those two. What will be the most important one? Come on, guys. Placement. And another important, if place it was, or placement was used to play with the 4 P's thing, but it should be PPDP. Should be promotion, product, distribution, price. Why for a company like Coca-Cola, placement, distribution is the most important P? You tell me. Because, come on, guys. Why?
That's the way.
Yeah?
Everyone.
Lorena, you go first.
Because everyone knows your product, and you have to be available everywhere.
That's it. Well done, Lorena. And I bet you guys that if you go out right now, if you go out, I bet you that you will find a Coca-Cola drink in less than 5 minutes. I bet you. I bet you. You go to the supermarket, you go to the 7-Eleven, you go to probably in your fridge or in a neighbor fridge, but I bet you that you will find a Coca-Cola drink. Why? Because for that company in the business plan, they clearly explain to the readers and investors, our most important thing is distribution. We don't need to convince people what Coca-Cola is or what our brand entitles. We need to have it available for people to buy it. And then if a business is dying, you have a problem, and the problem is called stock. One of the most expensive outbounds, one of the most expensive outcomes of a business is to have a lot of inventory. When people don't buy your products and services, you have a lot of inventory or a lot of intellectual capital that is not being used. You need to get rid of it. How do you get rid of it? By lowering the price. When you have a lot of inventory, what you do? You give 20% off, 30% off, 50% off. Right? Because you have it's summer, and then you are getting into the new season. What you do with the summer collection? You give discounts because you don't want to keep paying warehousing, and even worse, you don't want to keep paying insurance for that. So what you do? You move that inventory, you move that stock. How? By lowering the price. So when a business is going down, or a category is going down, or a product is going down, what you do? You lower the price. And that's what we do when we learn business professionally. Some people don't do this. They don't come to classes. They don't learn business. They don't learn marketing. What they do, the first thing they tell their friends is, I'm going to enter the market and I'm going to give a very low price so people buy my product. Wrong. Wrong. Because that is the last P. That is the last resource. Unless you're a business like, the $3 or the dollar shop, or one of these retailers that only, have you seen these retailers that they just sell products because they are so cheap? That is a different business model. In that particular business model, okay, price matters. But apart from that business model, price doesn't matter. People don't buy prices. People buy branding, what that brand represents to them. People buy availability, so people can get back to the shop if something is not working and they can fix it. They can get a new part, which is distribution. People buy quality, the product will work. People don't buy prices. The 4 P's are critical. The first 3 P's are all cost. Promotion is a cost. Product development is a cost. Distribution and logistics, value chain is a cost. The last one, price, is the only one that represents an income. But the market will see it the opposite side. The market will see the price is what I have to pay, and the other 3 is what the business has to pay. This understanding of the PLC and the marketing mix, the 4 P's, is extremely important. Unfortunately, teachers don't explain this the way it should be explained. You cannot explain the PLC separately. You cannot explain the marketing mix separately. They have to go together. So promotion has to be connected with the introduction stage. All right? Product has to be connected with the growth stage. Placement, distribution has to be connected with the maturity stage. And price should be connected with the decline stage. This understanding is the understanding of profession, is high level. This is what you learn when you do an MBA, a Master in Business Administration mostly, how to mix these 2 things. That's why this question is so important, and that's why it's so difficult, all right? So now we're going to the PLC. What is the next item after the PLC? And the last one. What is the last one?
For activities.
Business operation, which is what majority of people, 80% of people in the business, operators, that's why we call them operators. That's why we call them staff. I hate that word staff. Do you like the word staff? I don't like it, man. I don't want anyone to call me a staff. And by the way, don't call people staff if you are a manager, or if you don't. Staff is not a nice word. All right? Just like workers is not a nice word. Just like labor is not a nice word. All right? But we don't want to be down there. That's why we're learning. That's why we're studying. 80% of people is doing activities, operations. All right? That's why it's at the bottom of the business plan. Guys, if you remember that question there, you will be able to write business plans that will make sense. A well-connected business plan is a powerful document. It will be 3-4 pages, though. It will not be 50-60 pages. It will be 4-5 pages
Sorry,
with
Santi,
hyperlinks. Yep.
Can we repeat the order? Sorry, I just didn't get it.
All right. What is the first one, guys? Quickly.
Mission, vision, SWOT analysis, specific objectives, business strategy, PLC, and the last one, business operation.
All right, good, good. I'm going to write it in the chat. But just like you know your name, just like you know where you live, just like you know how old you are, if you really care about business and marketing studies, please try to remember somehow this order. I have been in interviews, you know, like medium, high level interviews, and the first thing that I get asked, do you know how to write business plans? All right, in the chat now. Mercedes, have a look at the chat. I wrote the answers in the chat for you for your reference if you need help with that, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, cool. Let's go to the next question. Question number 5. Strategic components of a business plans are written by who? We have 3 options. What are those options, please?
Directors.
Directors. That is the right answer. All right. Directors, management, and admin staff. Those are the options. Staff, remember what I told you, we don't use that word, but for the sake of the class, admin staff, they don't have a clue, man. Admin staff, they go to work, and the only thing they keep in mind is, all right, at what time start, at what time I finish, and what is that I need to do today so the business continues working. Very important job, though. But is that job rewarding in terms of money? No. Is that job rewarding in terms of decisions you make? No. All right, but it's there. How much it pays in Australia? $40,000 per year. All right, then we have management. That is the trap. When you study, guys, when you study, because that's what you're doing, you're studying. I don't know. I know that a lot of people is here because of the visa. Who cares? But for me, and for those of you who cares about this program, you are a student, a business student. So for those of you who are studying, you don't want to be a manager. Just remember this. Management is a trap. It's the middle of it, and it sucks. It's so difficult. You need to work long hours. You know, you need to start early. You are the last one leaving the business. And the sacrifice is huge for the money that you receive. You think that you think that managers get well paid? They don't, man. Staff get well paid because they get hourly rate and they don't have any responsibility whatsoever with the business. They get well paid. Managers, it's horrible to be a manager. A lot of pressure. The retribution is not as high as people think. Directors, that's where you have to be. That's why you came to classes like this one, because in the future, once you have done a diploma, once you have completed the bachelor, if that is the case, a lot of you already have the bachelor anyway. That's where you want to be. You want to be a director. Why a director? Because directors define the direction. That's why they're called directors. You make choices. You write down the vision of that business. You support the business strategy. And that's where you want to be. Why? Because that's when you get paid $300,000 per year. And if you want to work tomorrow, it's fine. Because this is about what you say and think and decide. It's not about what you do every single minute. You don't need to clock in and clock out when you are a director. You arrive at the office 11 a.m. and it's fine. And that is the freedom. It's the only way for you to be free at corporate level. Management, you are a slave. And if you are a worker, you are just labor, man. You are just being used. I'm sorry to tell you this, but that is the reality. Okay, cool. Don't forget about that order. Don't forget about that question that we just did. Who made the decisions? The directors. Question number 6. Approved business templates are useful. Yes, we talked about templates previous class. They will save us a lot of time. They will give us a benchmark. They will give us order. People that is coming new to the business, they will use those templates. Our branding will be protected. The style, the tone of our communications will be constant. That's what you need to explain there. We talk about that in our last class. Have you completed that? Have you guys completed that question? Yeah, that's an easy one. All right, so let's go to the last part of our online quiz. All right, I've been working for almost 1 hour and a half. So before we continue with the last part of the online quiz, let's have a break, 10 minutes. And then after the break, we continue working on the online quiz. As soon as we finish with the online quiz, straight away we move to the observation assessment. We finish with the observation assessment. I call attendance, we finish the class, and we start a new unit next class. All right, guys. Have a good break. See you in 10 minutes.
That's what makes them happy. And there's some people that just
Hey, fellas, we're about to start. Take your time. Okay, thank you, Lorena. Thank you, Maria. Appreciate that. All right, so let's continue. We're about to finish with this online quiz. It's just a long one, but that's how it is this time. All right, question number 7. Before publishing any business document, you should seek approval for supervisors and managers. Obviously, that is true. We have discussed this a million times, but this is important in Australia. Australia is like, all right, cool. Don't publish anything unless you have managers' approval. Okay, cool. We know that. This happens in all programs, all courses is like this in vocational education, all right? So that's important. That's why the question is there. All right, question number 8. What happened to the business plan once the vision statement is achieved? I let that one for you guys. Once you have the answer, please let me know. So please work on that one. Once you have the answer, let us know, or write it in the chat, or let me know, whatever, and then we move to the next one.
It need to evolve.
What needs to evolve? What?
The mission, the vision, depending on the customer needs or the conditions of the market.
All right, let's have a look at the question first. All right. So what the question is, what happened to the business plan? What happened to a business plan when the vision is achieved? What happened to that business plan? Remember the one that we were mentioning before? So what happened to that business plan at the very moment that we achieve a vision? Please remember, guys, please remember that all visions, all of them, they have a deadline. They have a date by when that vision will be achieved. All of them. So what happened to that vision once you achieve it? Sorry. What happens to the business plan that contains that vision once you say to everyone, yeah, we get it, we did it, we achieved the vision? What happened to that business plan?
It has to be updated to set new goals.
Almost. Once you achieve that vision, the business plan is completed. It's finalized. You can archive it. It's done. It's not about evolving the business plan, no. It's not about updating the business plan either, no. It's about doing a
new business plan.
That's it. But how important is to know this, right? Because this is one of the answers that you need to give to the interviewer when you're applying for a top position. Hey, how are you going to manage business plans in this company? Well, easy. Once I achieve the vision, then we start a new one. Okay, done. Straight away, they know that you understand this. And it's not like evolving. It's because it's such a serious and important document that you need to start from scratch. What doesn't change is the mission. Have a look at this, guys. The mission statement do not change. That's why the mission statement does not have a deadline. Because the mission statement does not change. The mission statement is the reason why the company exists, why the company is important in that market, why it should exist. If the mission changes, the company should change. It's a new company. But the vision statement changes. When it changes, once it is achieved. People get confused with mission and vision. Mission, the reason why, the purpose, why a company exists, the purpose. The vision, think about the most important objective a company may ever have, ever. The most important objective is just that it's so important that we find that we use a new word for it that is called vision with V. Vision statement, the most, and like all objectives, they have a time frame. You remember the objectives, yeah? You remember the SMART approach. You remember that, yeah? SMART approach to write objectives. Juan Manuel, you remember that? You remember the SMART approach to write objectives?
I don't have it very clear right now.
Lorena, you remember the SMART approach to writing objectives? Maria, SMART approach?
I just found something about that.
Go.
Should be specific, measurable,
yeah,
achievable, and relevant, and time bound.
That time bound is the one I'm telling you about right now. Visions, they are like objectives. It's just that it's the most important objective. So visions are time bounded. Once you get to that timeline, to the end of that timeline, is when you should be achieving that vision. And at that moment, then you start a new plan. Imagine that our business plan goes and say, our business is to start operations in New Zealand by December 2024. Guys, I'm going to repeat it. Please connect with me. For me, it's very important that you understand this. So the vision of our business plan is saying by December of 2024, our business will have operations in New Zealand. You got it? All right, cool. If that is the vision statement, and we get to the point of right November, December 2024, and we have operations in New Zealand, that means that we achieved that vision in that business plan. January, we should have a 2025 new business plan with a new vision. The vision will not be to open New Zealand because we already did it. By the way, guys, if the vision is opening operations in New Zealand, what will be the business strategy of that business plan?
Then the next one, you mean the new vision or what? Sorry,
No. I just trying to connect all the knowledge, all right? So yeah. If the vision of that business plan is to open operations in New Zealand by 2024, what should be the business strategy of that very business plan, of that one?
Penetration?
No.
Market development.
Market development. And that's why the vision is, that's why the vision is so important. It's the most important thing in the business plan, by the way, because that will give reason to everything else. Everything else will be supporting that vision so we achieve it, yeah? So the business plan 2025 could be different, could be, all right, now that we are in New Zealand, we want to develop a new product for this company, and this product will be using artificial intelligence. All right. So our vision will be by October 2025, our product will be using the capabilities and resources that could be provided by using artificial intelligence. So our product will be using artificial intelligence by October 2025. This is, by the way, the most common strategy right now. Like a lot of businesses that are using, that have services, are trying to find how to match those services to artificial intelligence. A lot of So if that is the case, what is the business strategy? Rebecca. Lorena, sorry.
Sorry, I got lost.
So let's imagine that the vision of our business is by October 2025, sorry, by October 2024, we want our product to evolve so it will be enhanced by artificial intelligence.
Product development.
So we will be offering, yeah. All right, sorry, probably that's not a good example. Guys, I don't know, have you noticed how artificial intelligence is changing a lot of companies, and a lot of companies are moving towards having their products being capable of using artificial intelligence? Have you noticed that? No. Little bit? You have noticed that, Maria, yeah? Juan, have you noticed that? So if that is the case, it means that companies will have products that will be using artificial intelligence. You know, like ChatGPT, or like all this software that could produce images. That's why Canva is in jeopardy, because Microsoft wants to eat their lunch. If that is the strategy, if that is the vision, the strategy will be product development. Yeah, so important to get all of this connected. All right, cool. Now let's move to the next question then. So please be careful with question number 8. You know, when we achieve the business plan, then we start a new business plan with a new vision for the business. It's very short, that answer, but has to be like that. I'm going to write it in the chat for you guys, okay? Because it has to be like that. So clear, that answer. Have a look at the chat, please. That's for the question number. That's for question number 8. So what happened to the business plan when the vision statement is achieved? Answer, we start planning a new business plan with a new vision for the business. All right, question number 9. Mission statement remains, whereas vision statement evolves. Explain that.
Maybe that was the answer I gave before.
Yeah, go ahead, repeat it.
Yeah, that vision needs to change depending on the need of the customers and the market.
What changes? The mission?
The vision.
The vision. Yeah, the vision evolves. Okay, good. The mission stays. Okay, good. Good. That will be good. Have a look at the chat. Mission statement remains as far as the business exists. Missions don't change. Anyone remember? Anybody knows what is the mission of Tesla, the business?
No.
I don't remember by heart, but it's something like accelerating the transition to renewable energy. Guys, get it. And if someone can please have a look at Google and try to find the Tesla mission. But it's something like accelerating the transition to renewable energy. If one day they don't want to do that, it's because Tesla will be a different business. That's why I'm telling you, the mission does not change. You don't give a date. You don't say like our 2024 mission. You don't say that. You don't go and say our 2025 mission. You don't do that. The mission stays. It doesn't change. The vision does. So that's why you have Vision 2024, Vision 2025, Vision 2026. Important to understand as well that we don't have business plans that spans for over 1 year. Like a business plan that lasts for more than 1 year doesn't make any sense in this current economy. You're lucky if you can plan for 6 months. You're lucky. So a business plan that is over a year, it will be rejected. Doesn't make any sense. All right, and the final question of this online quiz goes like this. All right, you know that one was because we talk about it. All right, you know about that. So the marketing mix has 4 elements. What is the one missing?
Product.
Okay, cool. That's it. That's it, guys. All right. Please submit that online quiz now that you have completed. Submit it. All right. And once you have submitted that online quiz, then start moving to the next assessment for this unit, which is the observation. So take your time. And we start with the observation in exactly 5 minutes. All right. We start with the observation 11 a.m. sharp, and we should be finishing by 11:30, 11:45. Okay, guys, welcome back. Let's do the observation assessment now. All right, so you know the dynamic of the observation assessment. For those of you who are here, that will be marked automatically because I will be doing the observation at my end. For those of you who are watching the recorded class, then you need to provide evidence of skills and knowledge for each one of the items in the observation assessment. So it changes if you are here or not. How you develop the observation assessment changes. All right. So let's start with the observation item number 1, please. All right, question number 1. Who is ready? Who wants to do it? Who wants to be observed directly?
Identify the audience, define the purpose, determine requirements, consider the format and style, and review and revise.
Correct. Correct. So it is all about the audience. We talked about that in our previous class. So you need to demonstrate the skills and knowledge to define the audience. How you define the audience? How you define a target market, a target audience? We discussed that last class. Who remembers? Who remembers that? What variables we need to analyze?
Language.
We need to use language. Yes, what else? Age, education. Thank you, Orhan. What else?
The culture.
The culture, the background, the marital status, the demographic. Exactly. So we have 3 categories: demographic variables, geographic and
psychographic.
That's correct. So that's what you need to answer in that question. You need to say something like, yes, I have the skills and knowledge to define an audience. I can define the audience by using demographic variables, geographic variables, and psychographic variables. That would be perfect. But if you don't remember these 3 things, then you may say age, gender, marital status, socioeconomical status, income, where the person lives, what is the age, that sort of things. And also, what is the purpose of the communication? Yeah. So why we need to communicate this? Because we want to convince people. Remember that we talked about that last class, or because we want to influence people? All right. Now let's go to the observation item number 2.
Sorry.
That's okay. All right. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to determine the format, style, and structure of the document? So what you need to do there, you need to say, yes, I have the skills and knowledge to understand that large corporations, large businesses, they have performance, they have templates that workers, administrators, managers, directors, people in the company can use to write business documents. You know, the business has the template in Word with the logotype, with the address, with everything, and then you just write. Some businesses, they even have the text, and you just need to fill some gaps. However, if the business does not have these templates, then you need to develop these proformas, these templates, to facilitate the incoming work of other people in the business. In other words, marketing and business people, they need to search for these proformas and templates in the intranet. If the intranet does not have these proformas and templates, then you need to develop them and you need to get them approved by the manager. That's what you need to write there. Guys, is it clear what you need to do with the observation assessment, especially for the new students? You need to provide evidence that you know that. Lorena, how are you going? Is it something that is working at your end?
Yeah,
Is
at the moment, yeah.
Is it clear what you need to do?
Yeah, I have to, yeah.
You need to provide evidence. How do you provide that evidence? You provide that evidence by saying, look, I did work on something similar 3 months ago in my business. You know, I was trying to write a letter and I couldn't find a template for that letter. So I was forced to develop that template and to get that template approved from my manager. Other employees, they have now this template to facilitate the work they do. Or you may say, look, I was working in a business and I was writing a marketing campaign for a client, and the business already have a template how you do marketing campaigns in this business. And I was just following the steps. That is one way to demonstrate knowledge. However, a lot of you guys don't have work experience. So you need to say, look, I don't have work experience, but I recall from my previous class that I need to provide the templates if the business does not have the template. That is proving that you now know, because you are recalling the knowledge from the previous class. Or you may say, look, I have no experience in this field. However, I read a book that is talking about how to develop business documents. And this book is written by this author. That is a way to prove it. Or you may say, there is a video in YouTube that is talking about this particular topic. This is the video in YouTube. With the classes and this video, now I have the knowledge and the skill required. Somehow you need to prove it. Cool. Question number 3, do you have the skills and knowledge to establish methods of communications? Last class, we talked about methods of communications, and we defined it that there is one method that is extremely effective when it comes to business communications. Who remember that method? That, yeah.
Emails.
Emails. Why it is effective? Because there is a record of it, blah, 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 blah. That's what you need to say. You may say, yes, I have this knowledge and skill because I have written emails that are business related. And I know how good it is because when they reply my email, what I wrote is there as well. I know it's silly, but that's how you demonstrate that you know this. That is a very easy one. Other methods of communication, of course, radio, of course, television, of course, the internet, of course, flyers, pamphlets, posters, and brochures. All right, guys, so please keep working on that observation assessment in your own. If you have any question about how you need to answer, I will be here ready for that question. We need to finish that observation today. Hopefully you can do it.
Santi, sorry.
That's okay. Ask me. That's fine.
I don't know why, but when I read the observation, I never get exactly what you want in the question. So, does the student have skill and knowledge to develop content overview of document? I don't know how to explain you.
All right. So
This
let's
is always my problem.
No, that's no, it's because no, it's not. These observation assessments are intended for real world scenarios. You know, like in Australia, a lot of people that is you guys are international students, you know what I mean? You came from a different country, you are not working here in your profession. But these programs, these qualifications were written by Australians for Australians. So what usually happens, and this is the normal delivery of these programs, is that the person that is working and living in this country, they are actively working on the field. So the assessor, which is in this case, this person, Santi, will be able to go to that workplace scenario and observe if you have those skills and knowledge. And I just feel that. I just need, that's why the question goes like that, because I'm supposed to feel that. You know what I mean? I understand because but I cannot observe you guys. Why I cannot observe you? Because the vast majority of you guys, you have international student visas. So you are not working in the field. So then I cannot observe you. What is the solution to that situation? Using workplace scenarios, intended scenarios, using previous work experiences, using knowledge that you already have or that you just got from the previous class. That's why what you need to say is, yes, I have the skill. Why I have the skills? Or you may say, no, I don't have the skills. I don't know about this, Santi. If that is your answer, obviously you will not pass the assessment because we need to work on that weakness. All right. And then we need to do a one-to-one collaboration meeting for us to work on that gap, on that knowledge gap. But the vast majority of you guys, you can work on this. You can manage this. Why? Because this is not that complex. This is not that difficult. What you need to do, you need to provide evidence that you have knowledge about that particular item. So that particular item, what number is, Lorena?
This is just a 4.
All right, let's have a look at that. Does the student have skills and knowledge to develop content overview? Right. Do you remember, Lorena, what we discussed last class about the content overview?
Which part of the
Anyone remembers? Because we talked about this in our last class. Last class we were talking about, all right, sometimes
you have to produce like a little summary.
Yeah.
The content.
Yeah. So last class we discussed it, like sometimes managers, they will not be able to read the entire document because they are busy. They just will read the overview, the executive summary, some people call it, of that document. So what we need to do, what we need to learn is, all right, how to write the document, but also how to write an overview of the document. You know, a synthesis of that document, a resume of that document, an executive summary, a summary of that document. That's what the question is about. So you need to say, all right, yes, I remember from previous class that one thing is to write the business document. However, I understand that not everybody will read it because people is busy. Some people will only read the summary of that document. If they are interested, if they are engaged, then they will read everything else. Remember that last class I gave you the example of the newspaper. Remember that? That I told you, sometimes people just read the titles and they skim the document, the newspaper, and they only stop on those titles that call their attention and they read the article. But No one reads the entire newspaper. No one does. I mean, some people do, but usually that's not what people do. People skim content, and then they find what they call, or what call their attentions, all right? How we work with this? We write summaries. And with the summaries, have you noticed when you buy a book that if you go to the back of the book, there is like a summary of the book? Or when you go to Netflix and you will see like a summary of the movie? Have you noticed that? That's what we need to say here. Use the Netflix example. You go to Netflix and you click on the movie that you want to watch. It's not called summary, but they call it somehow. I don't remember how they call it, but that is exactly the same thing. It's like an encapsulated short. How they call it in Netflix, guys? Anybody remembers? No one? Or use the example of the book that I just told you. A preview. They call it a preview of the movie. Lorena, is it clear for you now?
I think so.
No, tell me yes or no, please. See, because if it's not clear, I have to explain it to you.
No, it's just my problem in answering those questions is that, yes, I know how to write an overview because I know how to write a summary. So this is what I would answer, but I don't know if it makes any sense for the answer
that would be perfect as an starting point. But then you need to give me an example. I prove that you have done it before. Like you can tell me, back in 2020, I wrote an email to someone, to a partner, to a business partner, to my boss, that was explaining what the attachment was all about. You know, when you write emails and then you attach something, a PDF or something, and then in the email you explain a little bit what that PDF is all about. That is the proof. That may not be your example, but likely because we have all wrote emails with attachments to it, and we explain that there is an attachment to that email. We do. We really do. We don't send an email and we just attach a PDF or a Word document and we don't say anything about it. What we say, please find attached to this email a document that is listing blah, 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 blah. That is a summary. That is an overview of that document. Or, okay. or we all have been invited to meetings, you know, like work meetings, don't you? And you get invited to that meeting, and what that the meeting invitation goes, all right, the meeting will happen today between 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. People that will be invited in the meeting will be blah, 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 these people, and we will be discussing this agenda, blah, 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 blah. That is a introduction, is an overview of that meeting. That's why you can use as an example. Or you may say, at the end of the meeting, the person that was running the meeting sent an email back to us with the main points that were discussed in that meeting. That will be a summary of that meeting. So this is different ways for you to explain that you understand what this is all about. But again, if you don't understand it, that is completely fine because we're learning this. And if you don't understand it, the only thing that you need to say is, I do not understand this. I don't have the skills and knowledge yet to understand this. What I do, I mark it like NYC, that question, and then I contact you saying, look, we need to talk about this. And then we talk about it and we move on.
Okay.
All right. All right, let's go to question number 5 then. You know how you should be reading this. Instead of reading, does the student have? You need to read this like, do I have? Read it like that. Read it like that, please. Do I have the skills? So question number 5, do I have the skills and knowledge to determine categories? and logical sequence of information. Remember when we did the question about the business plan? Remember that we have a hierarchy, a logical connection of items, and that's why we have the mission first and then vision. And at the end, we had activities. Remember that question? Use that question as a proof that you know about this. You may say, yes, I know this because when I write a business plan, I cannot write the mission at the end of the document. I need to write the mission at the beginning so the document is all connected to that very top hierarchy. And that's why mission and vision, they go to the top because it's the highest hierarchy in a business plan. And that's why activities go to the bottom. So you can use that example to prove that you have knowledge about this. Or you may say, yes, I have knowledge about hierarchies and how to structure a business document that has logical sequence. Because when I write a document in my business or in my company, I start with the introduction, then I go and do the body, and then I do the conclusion. You don't do the conclusion first, and at the end, the introduction. That is not logical. So this is how you demonstrate that you have these skills and knowledge. Juan Manuel, how are you going with that?
Which question?
Anyone? Give us the answer to any question that you have done so far for the observation.
Which one do you want?
Anyone. We have done 5 so far.
I think I've done more already.
Right, just give me the answer of one of them. It's just so we can all see how this is done. And obviously to see if you are doing it properly as well.
Okay. It says, does the student have skills and knowledge to check grammar, spelling, and style of accuracy and punctuation?
Yep.
Yeah, it says like, yeah, I have the knowledge by checking the grammar and punctuation, like including, for example, the use of commas, periods, semicolons, and colons.
And how are you proving that? Because you're telling me that you have the experience. Okay, that's fine. How you prove that you have that experience?
No, I didn't say experience. I said using commas, periods, semicolons, and colons.
I know. Please pay attention to what I'm trying to explain to you guys. Each observation item is intended for you to demonstrate that you have experience and knowledge and skills doing that. I know that you have done it before. I know that you have done it before, Juan Manuel, because I know that you have. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but in this case, well, it's not asking if I have experience. It just say how. So I'm saying how using commas, periods, and semicolons. Like that's the answer.
All right. What question is that one? Sorry, then tell me what question is that one. What number?
11.
All right, let me go there. Look, the question is asking you, does the student have skills and knowledge to check grammar? Okay. So
yeah,
you need to prove that you have that skill and knowledge. So you explain it. You explain it how to do it, which is fantastic. That is a very good way to answer that question. But then you need to prove it. How you prove it? How you can prove it? One.
Yeah, like I could add there, like, for example, using tools for the grammar, like Grammarly.
Exactly. So then you say, then you want to say, yesterday I wrote an email to a colleague, and that email at the beginning was not perfect. You know, there were some grammar mistakes and so on. I use it Grammarly to double check it. But when you say yesterday, that is when you are proving it. Or when you say, like, a year ago, I was working for a company that is called Coca-Cola, and I was working as a marketing coordinator. I was sending an email to one of my suppliers. And then I found that I had a lot of mistakes in my writing because it was in English, and English is my second language. So before I sent that email, I asked a colleague of mine that speaks English better than me to double check it. That's how you prove that you have that knowledge, that skill. Not just by explaining what is that, but how you can prove it to your trainer. Now, I know Juan Manuel, I know Maria, I know you guys, I know you're smart. I know that you have done this before, but I know that you can do it. I know that your grammar is good, probably, that you can use technology. But if someone else reads this assessment, that person doesn't have idea that Maria is Maria. So they need to find the proof there. That is the issue. Observation assessment in education, in Australian education, is what is called a summative assessment. It's the most important assessment. It's the one that is requiring that I sign that you know. That's why you need to give me enough meat, enough resources for me to be able to prove that. The use of a software like Grammarly and mentioning Grammarly there is really good idea. But some of you don't know what Grammarly is. So you may say, I don't know what Grammarly is, all right. But I know that someone else could help me to double check that the spelling, the grammar of this document is properly done. All right. So I will move quickly. I'm going to explain point by point, and then I will let it with you guys. I call the attendance, and then you have to complete this in your own, all right? So question number 6. Does the student have skills and knowledge to confirm information is cohesive and satisfy document purpose and requirements? Then you need to say, yes, I have the skills and knowledge because I can contrast the information of this document with the purpose of writing documents in this company. The purpose of writing documents in this company is to get people to buy our products. Okay. So is the document saying buy now? Is the document giving people information how to buy this product? Yes. Okay, cool. So now I can prove that I have knowledge in this particular item number 6. It's all about the document purpose and the requirements. So remember that we talked about the purpose of a document last class. In communications, the purpose of a document usually is to convince someone to do something. All right? What is the other purpose? If it's not convincing, what is the other one?
Influence.
Influence, that's it. So you see, you have the skills. It's just, guys, that it's not easy. Good idea probably to watch. Guys, did you receive, by the way, the recording of the previous class? Did the school send the recording of the previous class to you guys? Sudarat, can you confirm?
I think I received it.
All right, cool. So probably, if you go back to that lesson one more time, that could help you to answer those observation items. All right, let's go to the next one. 7. Does the student have the skills and knowledge to develop draft documents, to communicate data, information, and knowledge? All right. So we talk about this. Before we publish a document, we have a draft. And that draft has to be reviewed. The information there, the data there, the dates, the branding there, everything has to be reviewed and has to be approved by a manager. So you may say, I was working on a project 2 years ago, and the branding that I was using was not properly done. I was using a red color that was not the red that the company was using. So I asked the designers of the company, what is the CMYK number of the red that we use? And then I changed the red in my document. Or you may say, I was working on a document a few years ago, and I was using a writing style that was not according to the purpose, to the vision of this business. I was writing everything so friendly and so colloquial, and happens to be that this company is so serious and professional. Happens to be that these are lawyers or financial business companies. So I changed my writing style to be more professional, to be more serious, to be less colloquial, to be less friendly. That sort of things is what you need to do. All right, question number 8. Question number 9, sorry. Done. Question number 9 is done as well. 10 is done as well.
No, like we are in the number 8.
Okay, 8, okay. All right, question number 9. That the student have the skills and knowledge to draft text according to document purposes. What do you think?
This
What is a draft? Or for those of you who are in design, what is a sketch? Or for those of you who are in multimedia, what is a pilot?
sorry, but are you talking about number 8?
8, yeah, 8.
Because I have, does the student have skills and knowledge to identify gaps in required data and
Oh,
information
sorry,
and knowledge and collect additional material from relevant sources?
you're right. I was reading the wrong one. Sorry about that. So question 8, does the student have skills and knowledge to identify gaps in data, information and knowledge, and collect materials from relevant sources? All right. So data, let's talk about data for a second. What is the most important piece of data that we have in marketing and communications? Who remembers that? What is the most important property, data property? Guys, please, I really want you guys to get back to me quickly because this is not. What is the most important piece of data that you have in a database?
The email address.
That's it. You remember this? You recall this from previous classes, or you just know this?
I remember that
Fantastic.
class.
Why that is the most important data or data property in a database? Why? Because it cannot be duplicated. Whereas your name could be duplicated, your address could be duplicated, your gender could be duplicated, your marital status, everything, but the email cannot be. So if you are working with a database and you find that there is not the email address there, the email address property, then you find that there is a gap straight away. Or you are working with a database and you have the email, you have the name, and then you have the phone number, and then you go, all right, but where is the last name? The last name should be there. Or then you go and say, all right, I have information in this database about our customers, but I don't have the physical address of the physical, the physical, where the person lives. You may say, you know what, Santi? That is not that important anymore. Because we don't use letters, we don't use this sort of communications with people anymore. We write emails. Okay, cool. So you identified the gap, but you think still that we don't need to recall to find what is the source of that information. Fine. So that is the first part of the question, to identify gaps, understanding data property. The second part of the question, let me go back to it, is to collect information from relevant sources, to collect additional information from relevant sources. All right. So if you find a gap in the document, if you find a gap in whatever you are doing, what is the source that you use to find information about that? Every day you use that. What is the source?
Google.
Google.
Form.
You Google it, or you go to YouTube, or you read a book, or you ask an expert. So
ChatGPT.
you use ChatGPT, yes, man, totally. Say it. That's what you need to say. So then you may, the problem with ChatGPT though, is that ChatGPT is not connected yet to the internet. You know what I mean? So it cannot search in real time. At least that's what I have been told. All right. Whereas Google, it will find information in real time. But ChatGPT is very strong in other levels as well. That's what you need to say. You need to say, look, if I find a gap of information, I will find the solution to that gap in the internet. Sometimes you need to contact someone and you don't know the email. What you do? If you need to contact someone at professional level and you don't have the email of that person, what you do? Tell me what you do.
You look into LinkedIn, for example.
That's it. That's it. So that's what you can say in the answer. In doing so, you prove that you have knowledge. You may say, look, I have analyzed the data and I don't have the telephone number of this contact and or the email, and I truly need to contact this person. I used LinkedIn to find that information. And that was the source. All right.
And in other, like, if you have a big database for communicating by email, for example, and you need a specific information from people, you can send an email for those that you don't have that information, asking for them to fill a form or like to have the database updated.
And that's what we do in marketing, by the way. You know this. You know, when we are trying to clean the databases and make them more efficient, then we find, all right, these 20% of people don't have information that is up to date. Let's send them an email with a reward. That reward will be 10% off in the next purchase. Or that reward will be an invitation to our next event. Or that reward may be, I don't know, a subscription for 3 months free. LinkedIn does that. Like LinkedIn, you know, when you were subscribed 2 years ago and you haven't subscribed to the premium service for a while, they send you an email, guys, sending, all right, we are just trying to find out if your information is correct. This is still where you live, blah, blah, blah. By the way, we have noticed that you haven't subscribed for a while. Next 3 months free, try it out. That's what we do. That will be a really good example to prove that knowledge. Maria, well done. All right, let's go to the next one. Question number 9. Does the student have skills and knowledge to draft text according to document purposes and requirements? We talked about this one already. Yeah, purpose documents. Is this document intended to sell what we do? Is this document intended to influence what people think about our product? A political document, a flyer, something like that. Question number 10. Does the student have skills and knowledge to review draft? We talk about this. Of course we did, Mercedes. Or Lorena, I don't know who was the person. We did that. We talk about this. We have to pass that document through management for they to read that document, and then they need to sign it. Once it's signed, then we distribute it to stakeholders, or we send it to the email, or we add it to our website, or whatever is the case. So then number 10 was actually done. 11, we did number 11 too. We talk about Grammarly. We talk about using colleagues that are more, or that are better, you know, that are Smiths, copy Smiths in that particular field. Question number 12, that the student have skills and knowledge to confirm the draft text is approved by relevant organizational personnel, very similar to what we talk about. Usually human resources manager, usually the managing director, or your direct boss or supervisor. That the student have skills and knowledge to review and incorporate amendments. All right, good one, number 13. So once you receive feedback, once you receive amendments, do you have the skills to change what you have done before? And believe me, a lot of people don't have this skill. A lot of people receive feedback, and you know what they do with the feedback? They forget about it. A lot of people receive information from management saying, you know what? The data there is incorrect. You need to update that data to 2023 data. And you know what happened with a lot of people? They don't do it. They forget about it. Why they forget about it? Because they don't follow a planner. They don't have a software that is giving them alerts. They don't have a CRM software. They don't have something like Asana, or they don't have something like Monday to track how they advance with tasks. So sometimes people receive the feedback, they don't act on it, not because they don't want to act on it. Nobody do something like that. It's because they just forget. They are not planning properly what they need to do during the day because they don't use software. They don't support themselves in technology. That's what you can say in that particular question. And in doing so, you will be proving that you have knowledge in that particular question. Question number 14, does the student have skills and knowledge to apply basic design elements? All right. Do you know Word? Have you used Pages? Have you used InDesign? Probably not. But if you have used it in Design before, InDesign is pretty good to develop these templates. Have you used Illustrator? That is some softwares that were highly used. Canva, we were talking about Canva before. Yes, I have used Canva to create our business templates, our business cards templates. A business card is a business document, isn't it? Then you have the template, and what you change? The name. Or you have a poster in Canva, what you change? The date, the name of the event. But you use the poster in Canva as a baseline. So do you have skills and knowledge to use this sort of technologies to save yourself time? How is this called? The use of templates. Beautiful. And finally, or you may just say, look, I know how to use Word. I have been using Word for 20 years and I know how to add images to my Word documents to make them more corporate than they were before. Question 15, and this is the last one. Do you have the skills and knowledge to check documents and confirm requirements are met? All right. Do you have the skills to stop by for a second and think, all right, everything has been done. Everything has been proofread. I have checked this with management. Management is completely okay with what I'm going to write and publish in this document. Should I read this one more time before I publish it? The thing is, and I talked about this last class, once it's published, done. There is nothing that you can do to recall it because people take screenshots. Before internet, it was easier. I talked about this last class. Before internet, a company did a mistake. They went after the newspaper and they were buying all the newspapers in that location. So people cannot read what they said in that newspaper. So the final check before publishing is what they are asking. Can you do a final check before publishing, even though I have already all the signatures, all the templates, all the brand identity documents, and everything is check, check, check. I'm going to do the final check. All right. Good. I understand, guys. Like, I just received an email from someone saying that they don't have the minimum interest in this particular topic. I know some people don't have interest in this. It's fine, guys. I am sorry that this is the case, but this is a unit that is a core unit in the diploma and the marketing programs in Australia for marketing. We need to learn how to write complex documents. We are not writing, we're not talking about marketing and customers this time. I know, but this is how it is. Okay, guys. So once you have completed this assessment, what you need to do is to submit it, and we finish with the unit. Now, I'm going to call attendance before we finish the class. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so just give me 1 second, guys. Attendance. Attendance. So for those of you finishing today, we have few students finishing the class, the program today. please send an email to me so we can meet and discuss final observations and everything else that has to be marked in the next few days, please. Just let me mark the attendance. All right, so let's see who we have here today. I'm going to share the screen. Where it went. 1 second, I'm not getting the attendance sheet. Got it. Okay, so we have
Santi, I'm here, but I'm from my phone, so I didn't go from accelerate.
okay, let me
No.
mark you. So Juan. Hey Juan, you've been marked, all good.
Thank you, Santi.
Thank you, see you next class. Maria. Maria, you're marked, beautiful. Maria, this is your last class, isn't it?
Yes, it's my last class.
All right, Maria, let's meet if possible Monday or Tuesday. Just send me an email when you can.
Okay,
I just need to go through a couple of observations with you that I need to sign. I need to ask a couple of questions. Everything has been marked, but a couple of things that I still need to be marked. I still need to mark, but
Yeah.
to discuss a couple of topics with you before I mark them. So if you just send me an email, we meet next week, and then
Okay.
I will send the report straight away. You should be receiving your qualification in no time.
Cool. I had to complete a couple more that I'm missing, but I will do that.
All right, yeah, do that, and let's talk this coming week just to finalize whatever you need to finalize. And thank you so much for coming to class.
Thank you.
You were very
Yes,
supportive.
I just lost the connection, so I'm here.
Okay. Maria, so I will see you I will see you soon, okay?
Okay, cool. Thank
Thank
you,
you so
Santi.
much for everything that you did for this class. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for everything. Bye-bye.
Pleasure. Bye-bye, Maria. Okay, Lorena, let me check. Lorena, you've been marked. All good. See you
No,
next.
it's Mercedes.
Said that you've been marked. Okay. Who else needs to be marked, please?
Sabrina, please.
Sabrina?
I'll wish you here.
All right. Thank you, Sabrina. See you next class. Anyone else? Lorena, you done? Lorena, you done? Fernando?
Yeah, Santi.
All right, Fernando, please move with the assessments, okay? I need to mark you.
Okay.
See you next class, Mike. Okay, anybody else?
Carlos.
Market. Carlos.
Yes.
Market. Carlos, see you next class.
Sorry. Yes.
Give me a second. And your phone, you've been marked already.
Thank
No
you.
worries. No worries, Eunice class. Sudarat.
Yes, Santi, but I have question.
Yep, go ahead.
Wait. I sent the progress learning in the last week, but I didn't see the progress is done. I mean,
Can you share your screen with me?
research. I study research international markets in last 2 weeks ago, but
I
that
remember.
is just in progress. I submit already, but why you don't?
Let me
But
check.
don't show completed. Yeah.
Let me check. Sudarat. I need to mark them. That's why yes, you submit them,
Yeah.
but I need to do the marking. All right.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at this. Yeah, I have done some marking, but I still need to complete some marking. Okay. It's just that it's such an assessment, so I still need to mark this answer and so on. Yeah, it should be marked very soon. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
It was a long assessment, and I have a lot to read and to make sure that everything is properly done. So, but I have done some marking of that assessment, but I need to complete it. All right. So, should be ready by next week. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
See you guys. Thank you for coming.